Howdy, howdy, and meowdy. Welcome in. I hope you're having a lovely Monday, my catfish. It's not my usual stream time, and well, thank you. It was made by a lovely clown VTuber I met. They are such a nice person. But yeah, it's Monday. It's not my. I do normally stream Mondays. It's not my normal stream time because I had an appointment. And instead of what I might usually stream, we are doing more Final Fantasy XIV today. Specifically, so we can reach or finish through the Pre-Stormblood quests, because server issues prevented me from doing that yesterday. The game is behaving, and so we shall do the 8 quests I think we have left, including a dungeon. It shouldn't take us more than 2 hours at most, even with long cutscenes. And so let us dive right into it. Some fun. Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that I am as enraptured by the Black Shroud's beauty now as when I first laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. It seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus Stand. Pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? Yeah, if there wasn't server issues yesterday while I was playing the game, we would have finished this already. I literally teleported to Gridania and got booted out because server issues, which was not fun. The envoy from Ishgard has arrived. Very good. This way if you and the Lemonson party as well. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Amaric. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Panifer, I trust you are well? 'Tis a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you are well acquainted with my escort. Of course I am. I love you, Geary. Lady Panifer, I was glad to hear from Riol that the missing scions have now been found. There is much and more I have discussed with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we? We shall.
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer.
I am glad that this part of the game in Beyond has like a lot of voiced cutscenes. Cause I've done so much just voice acting over the unvoiced cutscenes.
Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies laboured to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honoured by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people too would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
I know that the second expansion's not everyone's favorite, but I still love it. It's a really fun expansion.
Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defences seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available, indeed the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
That the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good, you have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. Sir Aymeric, Master Alphino, pleasure as always, and Mistress Alice, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Pennifer for serving as our escort before other duties called her away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. No apologies are necessary, Mistress Yugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard support. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seatsu to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Aymeric. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray, convey my regards to the Scions, my friend. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with the simple sorry, or thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything? That is how we... You're not an adult, Alphino, you're a teenager. Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded, we should be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, Yugiri? Actually, I think I should first pay a brief visit to the East Shroud. I am curious to know how Papa Limo and Ida fared in their talks with the Sults. Not to mention what has been going on at Baelsar's wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones anon. Welcome back, Panifer. I don't know about you, but I'm heartily glad that all of the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I will ever feel at home in the realm of politics. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. Well, as much as I enjoy the bustle of the toll, I think it is time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Oh boy, dungeon time, let's go. Or almost dungeon time. Ah, you are returned from the council. But what of Alphino? Some other matter require his attention? Mine apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Kryle, how's Nago doing? She will be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. The tower is keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I am certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap would you share... Now, mayhap you would share with us the Council's decision? Each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial cop between the Resistance and the Alliance. Ida, you cannot seriously. One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Quite. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there was some way to reach the Griffin, some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath Baelsar's wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kryl and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you, Oliviers? I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worse, it would seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail upon you to accompany me, Pannifer? Britannia will be safer for your presence, and, while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well, I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. If you have any unfinished business in the toll, pray attend to it now. I would depart for the Hawthorn Hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of Baelsar's wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. Ah, Pennifer, there you are. Come. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm just gonna say Spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Fancy meeting the two of you here. We were about to set forth. Indeed, I was about to say, tolls wash over you, but I doubt you have need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alphino. We'll have the Griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Do make up your mind, Ida. Nary a moment ago, you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So, which is it to be? It would be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Papalimo. I'll shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part I leave to you. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the Spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers. You will find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. Greetings, my friends. It's good to see you both well. I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here, see, and decided you might help remind him why we bothered. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the grand melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say what an honor it is to stand at your side. 'Tis heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? All has been quiet. Howdy, howdy, Hazel. Welcome in. I am indeed close. Report. What 7 hells? Fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault. So the Griffin has made his move. Someone has. And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers say they're wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible. We gave no such order. Of course, the wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait. We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception. If those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war. I do appreciate lurking. It does help a lot. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. Jennifer, we must make for the wall at once. What? Just the 2 of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin, and if we can do that... Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? I don't know who the Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Well, things were quiet, and now somebody is setting stuff on fire. Forward, comrades! The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo, and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Alamigo will be free, no matter the cost. From what Papalimo told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straightaways for the tunnels and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if there were any other way. By the time for subtlety is past, take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin. Make him see reason by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. Let's go, dungeon! Aelsar's Wall. And as I am a tank, I should hopefully have a fairly quick queue. Don't tell me the game's lagging on me. Please God, there not be any freaking server issues again. And game audio's gone. That's lovely. Can't even bring up the menu. Okay, it just lagged heavily for like a few minutes for no reason. That's fine. Audio's back, everything's working, we're good. I forgot how much I spent on this umbrella, this parasol on the market board, but it was worth it. It's a great looking one. And here we go. It's time to fight. It's you, mother fricker. I'm going to enjoy kicking your butt, Ilbert.
How'd you like these?
Let's try, sucker. Sloppy.
I'll tear you limb from limb.
Yeah, don't stand on me, please. This'll hurt you more than it'll hurt me. Sloppy.
For our amigo! I have you now. Yeah. How'd you like these?
Let's try, sucker.
Yeah! Sloppy.
Sloppy.
Yeah! 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 Sloppy.
Oh boy, the healer's dead. That's... Oh boy.
I'll tear you limb from limb. Yeah. Sloppy. For our amigo! I have you now. Yeah. How'd you like these?
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
We have a chance.
Sloppy. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap. That was stressful. But we did it. We kicked Ilbert's butt. Actually, I'll give it to the bard. You were there with me. You helped. I was thinking I was gonna have to pop my invuln, but no. Bard came in with limit break before they got chained. That helped a lot.
You've beaten me, aye. But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold, a glimpse of things to come.
We did it! We showed the bastards!
Are you sure about that?
Aye! Victory is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap
Are
the
you
Realsies will
sure
finally see
about
sense
that?
when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
Oh, it's you again, you prick.
This is for Alamigo, for Eorzea. They die that others may live.
Yeah, tell yourself that. Oh, and you little shit. I've always hated you. I've always wanted to punch you into a pit. But you deserve worse.
Vanguards! Attack!
7 hells. Do you hear that?
War machines. How did they get here so quickly?
Stand your ground! For the resistance!
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
Gee, I wonder why. You're all idiots. Every last one of you.
Gods help us. What were we thinking?
Gee, what were you thinking?
Too powerful.
You weren't. You weren't thinking.
Mighty Ralker. Grant us the strength to crush our...
There you are. As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre.
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Illbird. I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now. Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand, you truly are a sheltered child, Leveilleur.
Nidhogg's eyes! No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Alamigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Summoned? You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power!
Oh yes, I know their limitations. Which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all!
I don't like that. No. That crunching. That was not good. That did not sound good.
This light, is it...
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
There is one thing.
What? Hey,
Master Louisois briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Timtimati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalymo! I know how that spell works. It is time to leave.
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go. The further away, the better.
No! If you're staying, then so am I.
No, Ida. There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here. Not like this. Take her! Please, you have to take her!
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
No, I don't want to go. You can't make me go. Or you can.
Hilda! I think he means now!
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida. Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
Why? Why didn't they let me stay? Papalymo is my friend. I should have been there with him. You could see it in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing, what had to be done. Master Louisois wore the same look right before the end. Do you think I don't know that? I know, alright. I know. There is nothing more you could have done. Obert caught us all off guard. Even Pennifer was powerless to stop him. If you must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise that you will never forget what Papalimo strove to protect or the lessons he tried to teach you. Leave Ida with me. Go on, go back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here. Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. Thancred is right. We must return to the Rising Stones and apprise our companions of all of this. Pray make your way there at once. I will send word to Y'shtola and the others of our imminent return. It would seem you bring ill tidings, brother. Aye, behind the griffin's mask we found the grinning face of an old adversary. Ilberd. I know not how, but he had in his possession the eyes of Nidhogg, whose dread power he used to initiate a summoning ritual even as we looked on. Eyes at 12. I don't understand. To attempt such a magic requires every ounce of one's aether. No one, not even grandfather, could cast it and hope to survive. Indeed, it was ever a last resort, as I'm certain Papalimo was aware. Thus did the pupil follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave. I have as yet been unable to explain how Ilberd came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depths of the sea of clouds, of perpetual storm of water and wind aspect aether rages, no mortal could endure such conditions. Then mayhap it was the work of an Ascian. But now is not the time for idle speculation. Kryl, I have need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the cocoon of light and ascertain the state of the primal craft within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight. Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As shall I. Let us be about it, then. What? Without so much as a by your leave? Pray forgive Archon Y'shtola her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest her grief deprive her of the will to act. A desire to comfort Ida doubtless compounded her unseemly haste. I, too, must contend with this grievous loss in mine own way. By thy leave, Lady Alice, I shall honor our fallen colleague through gainful study. There exist writings which may yet further our understanding of this cocoon of light. Mayhap I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret would be a poor tribute to Papalimo's sacrifice. Quite. We must begin preparations to face Ilbert's accursed creation without delay. What time we have was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. Pennifer, I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning, we still have no idea how long it will be before. Communication from the Alliance. One moment. Yes, of course, our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Gridania. Council will shortly be reconvened. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. You wish to discuss the Primal, of course. As of Yashol's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall unchanged. Yes, but the eldest Seedseer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I am told that Sid Garland has been called in to add his expertise to proceedings. A wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones in Tataru's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Stand. Okay, this is exactly what I did yesterday when the game decided to be stupid. Ooh. I know this samurai.
A word, if you would, good sir. This place, it is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay, Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes, you're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port. Though, 'twould perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Good man, are you all right?
I love Gosetsu. He is great. One of my favorite characters.
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Including the quest we are on, we have 4 quests, and then we are at the second expansion, finally, which we will start on Sunday.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon, of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
Nero! I love Nero!
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanau since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolsky.
I really do love Nero.
The mechanical genius who restored the
He
ultimate
is
weapon
full of
to
sass,
full
and
operational
I
capacity.
appreciate it.
And as luck would have it, I am graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame? Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartanau while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word? As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours, but the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. It would seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Cartanau and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland. and supervise
The
the
other one? Doesn't even refer to him by name, just the other one.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Cartano being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
My blade is yours.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Nero is great. Well, that was a rather unexpected development, and one which raises a number of questions, not least among them how Nero chanced to learn of the council meeting in the first place. Ooh, get a present. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. Alice is already on her way, and it would not do to lag too far behind. Let us be off. I get a present. Hooray. I've been a good warrior of light. And of her Alphino ready to go. The others stepped out onto the landing for a moment, lest you wonder. Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. And you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of that man poking about in the workings of the ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Alphino. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her side. She and Yugiri are... well, here they are now. Right, I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Cartano? Might I ask that we delay our departure slightly? I require no more than a few hours at most. Colleagues are studying the cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear their latest observations ere we proceed. It would seem wise to gain as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh, I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we will ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such time as you have finished procrastinating. Alright, while Alphino speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly the Excelsior over to Mordona and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. Mine apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Yashola and the others forthwith and join you as soon as I am able. Jennifer, pray accompany Alice back to the Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing you are present to entertain our guest. Right. Everyone heading to Mordona is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. Not quite a door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land here in Toll's main square. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones then?
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave!
Good gods, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger.
Yay, more Gosetsu.
I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the Scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? You, Giddy? You draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
Jennifer, wait, could I speak to you for a moment? Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we, ambushed you? Of course I remember. Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a traveling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment to finish the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. You can try it on now if you like. Yeah, this is a great outfit. Definitely gonna need to get a glamour plate set up, dye it. Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light it's, well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sewed in a blood pearl charm to, bring you home. May it always protect you. Yeah, I'm not quite gonna wear the monocle because I have my glasses, but still, great outfit. Very, very good outfit. Oh, this schmuck. So, we have to wake Omega up, right? When do we start? Are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I'll feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well. I will remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alphino, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist your Stola and Kryle? A fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartano Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while Pennifer, Ida, and our Doman friends take care of security. The Excelsior is by the lake just outside town. We'll leave as soon as everyone is ready. I want to see what the dye channels on this look like. Ooh, the ribbon. Heck yeah. Maybe a black jacket with a green ribbon. That actually looked really nice. And these... Okay, that changes that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make a detour to set up Glamour real quick and get dripped out. We only have this and one more quest, so we are very, very, very close to the end. And I can't wait to start Stormblood on Sunday. So I might grab a new sword just because I'm not biggest fan of how this one looks. I think I might have the sword in my inventory. Container. I need... Okay, so I need to grab a pot of white dye for that. Oh, I do like that. See, we're gonna dye that black, then... Actually, it would have not white, but... Oh, okay, I do have some of this. I need to grab a pot. Okay, so I need... Gubu Gray. Yep. Also grab a pot of ash, and then I can decide which color I want to do. I need a pot of that. Okay, so jacket is... Okay, yeah, that is a really nice look. Also, do I have another green for this? Do, perfect. Save, apply. Do I have... with Lockhart for now. There we go. Now we look good, real good. Nothing says adventure like a new outfit. We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Cartano before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. Once there, however, we had best be on our guard, given that Eileen Raye is still active when Omega was discovered. We can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence, and if Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by this new primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. Oh, but I love me a fight. I'm a good fighter.
Now, where was that? Ah! I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland.
Oh, it's this. Yeah, it's this chump. This nuisance.
Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
Of all the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This Clod has no idea who.
Yeah, this Cloud has no idea who's dealing with. He clearly doesn't recognize the Warrior of Light.
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
I love this music so much.
You watching, Papalino? Leave this to me.
With Solenstein.
No moving back.
Look upon a samurai of Doma.
You missed. You missed again.
Tis my right to strike.
Outnumbered. I'm the Warrior of frickin' Light. I'm not outnumbered, you're outnumbered. Oh, you still playing with those soldiers? I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. Behold, the Red Baron. Ah, yeah, isn't fun. No one told me they'd have match-tech armor, or forward for the Empire. I get toys.
Your defense is nothing.
Look upon a samurai of Doma.
Oh, that was quick. You have to say please, and they won't even come back. Wuss. Gotta be RP chat.
An opening.
It's all over now.
Okay, we are good to go.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
Now for some fun.
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's Wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
There isn't really any other way.
I suppose not.
I mean, I can fight Primal. I can't fight something on the scale of Bahamut. It took Louis Swab so much to vanquish Bahamut. I'm just a tiny lizard girl.
Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
Push the button.
gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
You don't need to smash the button, and you can just push it.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose.
Let's go. I love this cutscene. Omega looks so freaking good with the graphics update. And so does Shinryu. That's gotta be a lot of people dead in one instant. They're probably just chilling there and suddenly, why is there a wave of water? Hey yo, it's going full Godzilla. Let's go.
Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I'm mean to find out. Let's be on our way. One moment everything was functioning perfectly and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves and soon. At last. Final Pre-Stormblood quest. Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Ida, wait, we must first... The older Seedseer is expecting us. Worry not, Alphino. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, you Giri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. That is Gunbreaker, so if I decide I want to be a Gunbreaker, I can pick that up. But I think the next job I'm gonna pick up is Reaper, just so I can have a fun melee DPS. And I can get that at 70. My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. You are too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try, but tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. What words could do justice to such a scene? None of my choosing, that much is certain. But I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Gir Abania. The Primal's might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows. And it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and hope never to see again. The battle raged on, with no end in sight, until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. While most among us could think only of Bahamut when looking upon the Primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of Far Eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Gir Abanian side of the border. Which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Tarapin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure Gridania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I, myself, will join the Marshal and his men when the Council is adjourned. Well, that explains a few things. I'll wager that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega's stasis systems, so even if it has fallen into the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Such researches do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns. Indeed. I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance representatives in Gir Abania. Though Ilbert has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation. And by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Garlemald's grasp. You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest that we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. Pistola and the others have gathered at Amarysai's spire, and I imagine that you too would be interested to see what has become of the wall now that the cocoon is gone. It is decided, then. Lead on.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilbird's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She is up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhap she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them. I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
It was brave of Lise to remove her mask after so long. Though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papalimo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she has resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell to Taru and my sister. At last, we are done.
Children of the land, do you hear? Echoes of truths that once rang clear. Two souls intertwined, one true love they did find, bringing land and heavens near.
Let's not with that. Let's not with the emojis of the airplane and the whatnot. Okay. That's enough of that. I'm not gonna have somebody come to my chat and try that crap. Just turn in this quest and that shall be it. He may have mentioned, but Alphino has apprised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. Lise has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way to Girobania, we will have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom, but indolence. Correct? I, for one, look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect do you. I'm gonna unban this guy, but they're gonna get timed out. If you're coming into my chat while I'm trying to have a good stream and you're gonna do this nonsense, you're gonna get timed out. Quick march. The Imperials will soon come to their senses and we must be ready to face their retribution. It is almost time, father. I almost. Stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. Very well, Ilbert. I will take our homeland back. For the both of us. Oh, who is that? Oh, we can't see his face, but he's hunky. He's absolutely a hunk. I adore him. It is Xenos. My Lord Viceroy, scouts have confirmed the preliminary report. Baelsar's wall has fallen to the Eorzean Alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown icon continues, though both yet elude us. My lord, their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? Forgive me, my lord, I did not intend. Your will be done. Unknown. My spies tell me the Domans call it Shinryu, and that it proved the match for Omega. Yes. Coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. Ah, there he is, his face. Partially. At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to eastern skies. Okay, that went by fast. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. And before we finish stream, let us partake in this delight. This is such a fun trailer. Yeah, you got all these people down there just doing their work, and these two up here sending shockwaves from their fighting. Yeah, these trailers are always so cinematic. Doma. I adore Doma. Such a very good looking continent. All the zones are really nice. Split in half. That is impressive. God's cutscene Yugiri in Gosetsu looks so good. Everyone looks good in cutscenes. At last, we're at Stormblood. Hooray! So, with that, that is stream. Let's find someone to raid out to. Let's see who is streaming. No, we're gonna raid out to. We're gonna raid out to Fang Gu. Great person. So as usual, hi lovely catfish. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. And remember, Big Sis loves you.